All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Center for Business Growth and Innovation, an Iowa SourceLink webinar. We're excited to have you with us. We're still getting everybody signed in here. It's just 10:01. We'll be getting started really fast. So good morning. My name is Patrick Linsman. I'm Senior Program Manager at the Center for Business Growth and Innovation at the University of Northern Iowa. We're excited to have you here with us today for our first workshop, Facebook for Small Business. This is really going to be our basics, our intro workshop. Hopefully we can learn a lot, have a nice conversation, and kind of go from there. A couple quick housekeeping things. One, this is recorded and will be available to be viewed after the fact. So we'll have it up on iasourcelink.com, as well as the Center for Business Growth and Innovation website, cbgi.unite.edu. Everyone that attended and signed up will get an email with that link. Two, if you have questions today, please enter them into the Q&A box, and we will do our best to be able to answer them. If there's super specific questions regarding your specific Facebook page or situation, we'd love to be able to answer those offline outside of the webinar, but if it's a general question that we think will benefit the group, we'll do our best to answer it. And then the slides will be available at the end of the presentation. So please stick around, watch, and we're excited to have you here with us. So with that, let me introduce to you our presenter for today. Joining us over there on the University of Northern Iowa account is Samantha Schupanitz. So Sammy is a graduate of the University of Northern Iowa with a degree in digital marketing. She's also a successful small business owner and has managed pages for student organizations, her own business, and as well as part of her job. And she's going to be here to help us walk through and talk through the basics of Facebook for Small Business today. So Sammy, welcome, and take it away.
Thank you, Patrick. I'm excited to be discussing Facebook for Small Businesses today, and I think we should just go ahead and get right started.
Just click on your slide. Technology is fun. There you go.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about a couple different things in regard to Facebook. First, creating a business Facebook page. So we are going to go through the steps on how to create a successful business page on Facebook. And today, if you have a current Facebook page for your business, go ahead and pull that up and kind of look at it right along with our discussions. Or if you don't have one, go ahead and take some notes, and hopefully we'll help you get started. And then next, we're going to talk about creating content with a purpose. I know there's so much content out there on different platforms everywhere. People are constantly being flooded with different information coming at them. And so it's going to be really important to make sure that the content that you do produce is something that's going to bring value to your audience and something that people are going to want to see on their timeline. And then finally, we're going to talk about gaining followers. Sometimes it's hard to understand, do I have to have content first, or do I have to have followers first? What order do those come in? And so creating content and getting followers has to come hand in hand. There's no right or wrong answer to which one is more important, but they will go hand in hand, and eventually we'll start growing your audience. So why should my small business Facebook page have a presence online, and especially on Facebook? Well, most importantly, Facebook is a platform that is for connection, and that's how you are going to reach an audience maybe that you didn't know that you could reach before. Something that we always recommend is, if you are a small business owner, it's really important that you understand your audience and you understand what platforms you have, and what platforms your customers, your target market is going to. And so if Facebook is one of those, which likely it is because there are so many Facebook users out there, so many accounts, it's going to be a good outlet for your business to gain exposure. And then again, exposure is really important and a really great asset to use your Facebook page for. It's an ability to share and create that like digital word of mouth that is coming from having a Facebook page for your business. And then also, your Facebook page can be really a convenient factor that you can use to reach your audience. Facebook has this messenger application with it that you can use and directly address people as your business. And a lot of people on Facebook are very familiar with the messenger feature, and so it's really easy to use if you have to answer a quick question or reach your audience in a quick, efficient manner. Convenience is also something that has been very important as Facebook is being used a lot more as the world has kind of turned even more virtual and digital than ever before during the pandemic. And so businesses have been able to go to Facebook to get information out really quickly to their users, such as you're changing dates that you're open, you are changing the times that you're open because of the pandemic or anything. So Facebook is really a go-to place to get quick and easy information to your customers at a platform that they're already using. Okay, so creating a Facebook business page. Now, Facebook did recently just update, and so it may look a little different if you're more familiar with the older version, but I'm still getting to know it, and I think it's going to be more simple and easier to use, so that's good for everybody. If you are creating a business Facebook page, you will need a personal Facebook account as well. And what I mean by that is you have an account that is your individual name, and then you will make a Facebook page from that. And so the first step in creating a business Facebook page is, so the steps I'm going to show you are what it would look like on a desktop. And we always suggest that if you're going to create a Facebook page for the first time, use a desktop because it's kind of easier to navigate rather than the mobile app. And so in the right-hand corner of the desktop version, you'll see this little plus sign right next to your personal profile. And you just scroll down, and then you're going to want to create page. So right here, you'll click create page. You're not going to want to create a group. Groups are a little bit different. They're a little more personable, but they do work for other business units as well. But for here, we're going to talk about creating a page. Once you create a page, Facebook will shift you to this different browser, and on the left-hand side here, you'll be able to enter in all of your information, and then on the right side, you'll be able to preview what you enter in. And so something that can be kind of tricky is you want to use the right-hand side to edit, but it's actually only the left-hand side that you'll be able to edit, and then what you'll be able to see is the desktop preview, which is what people will be able to see once you publish your page. And so once you have your Facebook page name in there, your category, your description, then you can create the page. One thing that I did want to mention is when you create your Facebook page name, it is likely that they won't let you change it often. Facebook does not like it when you are trying to change your Facebook page name all the time, and so make sure when you input your name, it is something that you want to be there for a while.
So there is a process, though, to change your Facebook page name, but you can only do it so often, and it can only change so much, or you have to provide proof that there's another reason why you're changing your name. So not impossible, but difficult to do. So be sure when you're naming it, you're as descriptive as possible, and you're confident in what it is you want it to be.
Yes. So sometimes it can be confusing once you have your business Facebook page and then you also have your personal account, and you may be wondering, how do I navigate between these two pages? And so here's how you do it. You go to your home page here. So this would be where you would view your news feed as your personal account. And then on the left-hand side, you'll be able to see the little pages icon. And then you can click there to reach your pages, or at the top of your browser, you'll see this other little pages icon that you can also click to navigate to your page. And once you click those, you will see a screen that looks like this. And so on the left-hand side, you'll be able to see all of the different accounts that you manage, and then as well as the different notifications. And it also breaks it down into whether you have any messages for that account or any notifications. And then here you can also track your followings as well. And so that's how you navigate between your personal page, and then your business Facebook page. So you have your page created. Now let's create a post. So you'll need to navigate to your business Facebook page, and then right underneath the cover photo, which is this image up in the right corner, you will scroll down to create post. And once you click that, you will be able to type in your caption or your desired text that you have for your post. And then you will also be able to add in different media. And so a few quick tips that I have for creating posts on Facebook is make sure that the captions you have are short and simple and they get the message across really quickly. On average, people look at Facebook posts about 3 seconds. And so let's make sure that what you're posting is something that's going to grab someone's attention and get the information that they need to them right away. Always add media to your post, whether that is a video or a image. Videos actually are more favorable in Facebook's algorithm because videos are more likely to gain more views. You can also add a messenger application to your post so people can message you right away. You can check in at different places, such as, oh, I'm in Cedar Falls today, or I'm in Mason City, or I'm at this business, or this location. So you can also tag people, and that's a good way to gain exposure and get people to see the post. You can tag people, you can tag other businesses as well. And then hashtags are another thing you can also use in your posts. They're not as common on Facebook as they are on Instagram or Twitter, but people are still using hashtags on Facebook to start those conversations and gain brand exposure. Okay, so interacting as you versus your business Facebook page. So this is really important to differentiate your using Facebook as your personal or using Facebook as your business. And so a really unique way that Facebook does this is if you ever want to interact with a post, they have this little arrow down here, and then you can pull it up and it has all of your different accounts. And so let's say I would like to like this post as myself. And then I can make sure that I have myself selected, or I'd like to like this post as the Center for Business Growth and Innovation. And then I can select that and then like the post and make whatever comment or share that I want. And so make sure that when you are interacting as yourself versus your Facebook page, you know who you're engaging in the conversation with and who you're wanting to like that post with.
Yeah, and so we had a question from Mark Bushcamp. So if you go back one slide, quick, Sammy. So Mark's question was, how can you share a post from another page or capture it to put it on your page? The easiest way to do it would be looking at this window that you've got as you're scrolling through your newsfeed and you see a post that you like. Make sure that you're interacting as your page, and then right there, right next to what she has circled on that share button, that's going to act the same way. So if she had clicked share, she would share it then as a post to her page, or if you can see the list of other ones she's admin of, she could switch to source link, and she could take the Center for Business Growth and Innovation post and post it to source link. And there'll be a few other ways that we'll talk about, but Mark, that was one immediately that you want to make sure that who you're interacting as is important so that you're sharing things back to a page you manage and not necessarily to your own personal page. So that's, I think, part of the answer to your question. Go ahead.
Okay, so now that we have our Facebook page all put together, now we have to think about the branding and imagery of our page. So just as a website is so important, a Facebook page is really important as well. And when people come to your Facebook page, it's the first impression they get of your business. And so the profile image and the cover photo are going to be really important in what people will think of your business right when they see it. And so let's talk a little bit about how you can enhance your branding and imagery using a Facebook page. So making sure that your cover photo, which is the larger image that will be seen on your profile, is something that you want people to associate with your business. The cover photo can also be looked at as a slideshow, and Facebook has this option where you can add up to 5 different photos, and then users, it's kind of an interacting element where users can scroll through and see the different cover photos, which is kind of neat. The CPGI uses this to highlight our different programs that we have going on. As a business, you could use this to highlight different deals or seasonal updates, a new event going on you may associate with your business. And just keep in mind that this is something users are going to see right away. And so if you have information you want to get out right away, a Facebook cover photo might be a good area for you to emphasize that. We also wanted to talk about that your Facebook cover photo is something that can be changed more often than your profile image. You don't want to change it every day by any means, because you want people to still be able to know who you are when you come to their Facebook page, but it's something that is more versatile than your profile image. A lot of times we suggest that the profile image is your logo of your business, just to keep everything more consistent with your brand. No confusion going on, whether it's your account or not. And then when people are scrolling through their news feeds and they see the profile image, it's pretty small. And so let's make sure that your logo is in there and it's eye-catching and people will be able to easily recognize your brand. I also wanted to touch on consistency when it comes to branding and imagery. Whether you just have a Facebook page, maybe you have a website as well, or an Instagram, a Twitter, or any other type of platform that you're using for your business, make sure that the branding and imagery that you have is consistent, and so there's no confusion for your audience and they can reach you in all of these ways and be confident that they know that they're reaching out to you in the right ways. So make sure that you have consistent colors with your branding, you have consistent text, you have consistent messaging, just creating an overall branding that will help build your audience and gain exposure in the right ways. So Facebook also has this option where you can create a call to action button for your business Facebook page, and you can edit the call to action button just under your cover photo, and then it will give you an option to edit the button, and then you can select different wording that will be most applicable to your business. And so you could say send a message, or you could say send an email, or call now, or maybe shop now. So it's wherever you want your viewers to be directed to right away when they come to your page. Make sure that that button is reflective of your goals and where you want to send your audience. So the About tab is also really important for your website. Right away, make sure that if you do have a website, make sure that your website is right up there on your About tab, and so people will be able to navigate easily between your website and your Facebook page. Make sure that you have all updated information, your phone number, you can add an email, as well as you can create a location and also your hours. And so I know a lot of people have been changing hours lately because of the pandemic, or they've updated different things in their business. And so this would be a great way to make sure that those are updated and that users can easily understand when you'll be open. And I also wanted to talk about websites and socials. So make sure that if you do have an Instagram or a Twitter, Facebook also gives you the option to link to those accounts as well.
So you do want to make sure you link to your websites. We did have a question about, and this may be some way to look into deeper. One of our participants asked, is Facebook isn't allowing them to link to their website, saying it goes against Facebook standards. So any thoughts on, Sammy's right over here, that's why I keep looking over there. Any thoughts on how that could be potentially worked around, or things to maybe look at?
It might be something wrong with Facebook at the moment. My suggestion would be to put the link to your website in a Facebook post, and then you can then pin that post at the top of your page. And so that post would be the first thing that people see when they scroll through your page. And so people will be able to reach your website right away as well. But that is weird, and it must be some type of glitch.
I mean, that's definitely something we could look into and follow up with. Other thoughts that I would have would be to make sure it's got the http://www, so that when it's driving to your website, that it is the full website address and not a shortened version. If there is, for some reason, some combinations of letters or numbers that Facebook is deeming as against its standards, you may have an opportunity to do maybe a short URL or a redirect to it, and that would maybe be able to get a link to your Facebook page. So I think linking your website, as Sammy just mentioned, is a huge part of being able to drive traffic and convert sales. So we want to make sure that you're able to be able to do that.
Okay, so now we're going to kind of transition into, once we have our Facebook page, now how do we create content to post on the Facebook page? So if you're ever stuck and you don't know what kind of content to post, or you're running out of ideas, go ahead and share industry content. For example, the CVGI shares information from different partners like Iowa SourceLink or 1 Million Cups or the IEDA, and it's just a great way to promote other organizations that are within your industry, as well as give your audience kind of a new refresher on other people that's doing like things that you are, as well as your audience is also going to be interested in what they're doing, and industry content is something that is going to bring value to you and your audience, as well as you're going to be sharing information from these other pages, and they're going to be seeing that you are active and you are sharing their content, and so likely in return they will also share your content on their page as well. So it's going to benefit everyone in the long run, and it's an easy way to create content for your page that is going to bring value to your audience. Another really easy post you can get together is a kind of meet the staff spotlight or highlight. So you can do this on your Facebook page, and all you have to do is get an image or like a headshot of one of your coworkers or your fellow employees. And then in the post, you can just post an image, you can say their name, maybe their title, the years that they've maybe worked with the company, and then a fun fact about the staff member or a quote from the staff member, or whatever works best for your business or whatever you would like to highlight more. Highlighting your staff is a great way to kind of create a more personable feel on your Facebook page, and then also engage with your users, and your staff members are the ones who are engaging with your audience directly. And so let's make sure that they are getting credit, and Facebook is a fun way to do that. And then here's a little example of a meet the staff, super easy, just an image of your staff member. Maybe you own a coffee shop, and your image is maybe them working in the shop or drinking their favorite cup of coffee, with a fun fact of, oh, my favorite cup of coffee is a mocha with whipped cream, or something fun like that, to kind of liven up your Facebook page, make it more personable, and a really easy way to gain content that is going to gain a lot of exposure. Testimonials is also another great thing that you can post on your Facebook page. Maybe you already have testimonials on your website, and so go ahead and use those as well on your Facebook page as content. And so testimonials we'll be able to show other customers that maybe haven't used your services before that other people are finding success in using your services or your product. And so people are a lot more likely to believe in real customers and to take messaging from other customers and believe it and also want to look into that service or product. So campaigns on Facebook is also another great way to create content and also a great way to gain followers as well. Campaigns on Facebook are the main way to create more engagement in your posts. Campaigns are creating conversations, they are creating brand exposure, and then also shareable content. And so it's very easy for people to share your name, get your name out there through Facebook campaign. And so a few examples I have of those is recently Mason City Chamber of Commerce, they did a Mask Up North Iowa campaign. And so what they did here was they encouraged the community, businesses around Mason City to promote the hashtag Mask Up North Iowa to kind of normalize the wearing a mask and that it's normal and that it's okay. And a lot of small businesses recorded themselves and putting on a mask and putting hashtag Mask Up North Iowa. And then also different community members did as well. And so when everybody saw that hashtag Mask Up North Iowa, they knew that the Mason City Chamber of Commerce were behind it, and it gained them a lot of brand exposure, put them in the view of a lot of different people, and overall helped to benefit the community and the small businesses around Mason City. Another example of a Facebook campaign is what UNI Dance Marathon, which is a student organization here at UNI, and their hashtag is called Be the Reason. And basically they're using this hashtag throughout the year in order to start conversations amongst the community, in order to start conversations among campus and their dancers. And so it's basically just a hashtag that has been able to relay everyone back to the brand of UNI Dance Marathon and speak of UNI Dance Marathon in a good way and in gaining good exposure for them. So I also wanted to talk about maybe creating graphics. That could also be another option for content that you post. And so let's create content that pops. And a suggestion I have to use for this is Canva. So Canva is a graphic designing kind of platform you can use on either a desktop or you can download it on an app. It is free. They do have a premium version that does cost, but I found that the free version has a lot of different things to offer as well. Canva is really easy to learn. You can easily create Facebook posts and you can search for different templates, such as maybe you want to create an event or you have a certain sale in mind or something. You can search the templates and likely they'll have something that you can start from. Or else you can just start from scratch as well. And you can upload different photos, you can upload your logo to create content that is brand consistent for you. They even have different templates that you can use with a cover photo or an event cover photo or a profile image, anything you can think of. Facebook or Canva can really help you up your digital imaging on Facebook. And so it's a great way to make professional content that's made by you. It's easy and it's free, and it's a great way to gain exposure. Okay, so now that we have ideas on what you can post, now let's think about scheduling them. So maybe you are you're a small business owner, you are a photographer, or you own a restaurant, and so your passion is taking photos or cooking and serving people, and maybe you didn't wake up this morning and say, oh my gosh, I can't wait to post on Facebook today. So the scheduling component on Facebook is a great way to take just an hour every 2 weeks to create posts and schedule them out throughout those 2 weeks. And it's also a great way to think through, okay, what kind of promotions do I have coming up? What's going on that I need to be posting about within the next 2 weeks? Or if that works for you, take an hour every month. And if that works for you to create content, then that's great. Also, when you're scheduling posts, you can make sure that you schedule them at the times you want them to be posted. And so if you're thinking at 11 p.m. at night and you're like, gosh, I really should post this on my Facebook page, well, maybe you don't want to post at 11 o'clock at night because you may not get as many views on the Facebook post. And so you can schedule it to go out the next morning or afternoon. And that's just a great way to organize your content, organize your thoughts, and make sure that you have consistent content coming out, whether that is 2 posts a week or 3 posts a week, or maybe you make sure you post every Monday and Friday, or something along those lines, as long as it's consistent and as long as you're still posting content on your page. Okay, gaining followers. Facebook contests is probably the easiest and fastest way to gain followers on Facebook. You may have heard about these before, where businesses are giving away or entering people into contests in order to get more likes and shares and stuff on their page. And so some may be using captions such as like and share, or tag a friend to be entered into this said contest, or invite 3 friends to like this page and you'll be entered into the contest, or post a picture in our merchandise and you'll be entered into this drawing or contest. And you could give away, maybe depending on what you're selling, what your service or product is, you could give away a gift card for this set amount, or a certain percentage off to shop in the store, or a certain product is free for this person who wins the contest. And so this is a great way. People are going to be liking, they're going to be sharing, they're going to be tagging their friends, and you're going to build your following quickly, because people get excited when free stuff is involved, and it's going to be able to gain a lot of exposure because your post will be shared on different people's news feeds, and they might be shared on people's news feeds that don't already follow you. And so that's going to gain a lot of exposure for you, and in return, hopefully gain you a lot of likes on your Facebook page. Another simple way to make sure that you are gaining the followers you want is just to be active on your Facebook page. Like and share and comment, and make sure that you are engaging with your customers if they are engaging with you. Customers are going to be more likely to like and share and comment on your posts if you are interacting with them back. So make sure that you are always answering any questions they may have if they're commenting, or if a customer is going to share something about your page or your product or service, make sure that you reshare that on your page, and like and comment as well. So Facebook events is another application that Facebook uses along with Facebook pages. And you can create an event that is pertaining to your business. For example, the CBGI uses events to promote different things going on throughout the center. And people can easily share a Facebook event. You can specifically post in the Facebook event, and you can even post a link that people can use to register for the event, whether it's like virtual. So that's been really nice, as the pandemic has made a lot of things go virtual lately. And yeah, Facebook events is also a great way to get an idea of how many people are going to be interested in your event, and also it creates shareable content that people can share and get your brand, and then in return boost your event attendance. Facebook also has an option to go live. A lot of small businesses are using the Facebook Live option. It's kind of more of a more personable and fun way to interact with your audience. So for example, when you go live on Facebook, you can do it directly from your Facebook page, and people can interact with you right in the same time. So they can ask you questions, and they can make comments in the same time because you are live. And so a lot of shop owners have been using this to highlight different products that are coming in, tell viewers an exciting announcement that's going to happen in the shop, a new deal that's going on, or just kind of to talk about the status of what's going on as well with their shop, whether they are switching hours or having a new product line due to the pandemic or anything. So Facebook Live is very personable and also going to gain you a lot of views and exposure on your Facebook page. Like I said earlier, videos on Facebook are more favored in the algorithm, and they will be more likely pushed up towards the top of your audience's newsfeed. And so Facebook Live is going to gain you exposure, it's going to gain you likes, and it's a fun and interacting, engaging component to have on your Facebook page. Okay, so now we have talked about posting, what to post, how to gain followers with those postings. And so now let's talk about using analytics with a Facebook page. Don't get overwhelmed with using analytics. They are your friend. So to access your Facebook analytics, you're going to go to the top of your page, and then you'll find a tab called Insights. And then when you click on Insights, they will pop up, and on the left-hand side, you will have a menu with a whole bunch of different options, giving you all sorts of data that maybe you don't even need or maybe you will find beneficial. But something that I always find beneficial is the People tab. So if you click down on the People tab, it will show you the age of your followers and also whether they are women or men. And so this can be really beneficial to you if you're wanting to kind of alter your messaging to a certain demographic, or if you want to be posting at a certain time because you think you'll be reaching this certain age group, or you want to make sure that your posts are reaching more women, maybe your target audience more men. So coming to this page will really allow you to see who are you reaching really with your posts, and how can you alter your messaging to better reach them and to better let them have a better experience with your page and with your business. Another page that I also like to use is when your fans are online. And so this is really beneficial if you are using the Facebook scheduling application. And so if you are able to understand when your audience is online, so for example, the CBGI's audience is online around 4 until 7 o'clock. That is when a lot of our users are online. So maybe the CBGI wants to alter their postings to post between those times to make sure we get the most views, reach the most potential audience. And then you can make sure that your posts are scheduled at that time. I also did want to talk about the Panther Biz HQ, which is a program under the Center for Business Growth and Innovation. It is a student-led program that partners students with local businesses, or businesses all across Iowa actually, small businesses that are needing help with their different digital marketing components. And so in the past, the Panther Biz HQ has been able to help small businesses either grow their Facebook followings or start their Facebook from fresh and build their Facebook page for them. They have done a lot of work and made a lot of impact in the small business community. And if you are interested in their help, you can contact Patrick, and his email is at the bottom. And the students are so willing to help and better your digital presence online. And then again, my name is Samantha, and this is my email. If you ever have any questions, feel free to email me. And then next week we have a Facebook advertising, which is going to kind of go over how to build an ad on Facebook and what kind of audience you're going to reach on Facebook, and whether Facebook advertising is something that could be useful for your business. That will be on Tuesday, October 27th at 10 a.m. And then we'll take some more questions now.
Yeah, so as I just posted in chat, hopefully you saw there's a link there that you can download the slides for today's presentation. And then with our last, it looks like almost 20 minutes left. We're going to do some live walkthroughs on the Facebook pages. So Sammy's going to stop this share, and we're going to get one of our Facebook pages up and ready to do a bit of a walkthrough for you. Until then, while we're doing that, we're going to answer as many questions as possible. I will put the link. So Ellen, I see your question in here. We will put the link to the next class. I'll put that into the chat here in just a second, so you can sign up for directly from this webinar. It's also on the blog, and it's also linked in those slides. So we'd love to have you next week for advertising. So we'll knock that one out. Kelly asks, can you create your business Facebook page and then take it live when the business launches? The answer is yes. So as long as you don't hit the ready to publish button, you'll be able to put in some of your answers or put in all of your content that you want and have it sort of in a draft mode until you're ready to launch. If you do happen to accidentally go too far, you can always set it to private, and then you'll be able to do some of that editing and before taking it back to public. So go ahead and stop the slide share, and then you'll be able to do that live. So let's see, we'll go look. So Joan, you got a question on the giveaway. We're not sure how to do the options. And then we can talk more about hashtags as we're looking in here. Gail had asked, what are the dimensions and can you make the slides on the mobile app? So I did do some quick looking. Sophie, one of our other amazing staff people, was able to look that up for us, Gail. And if you want the pixel dimensions, I can tell you those. This looks like for those slide posts, they're 1200 by 630. If you're looking for the dimensions, so your profile picture is 180 by 180. This is all in pixels. Your cover photo is 820 by 462. And then your Facebook links and Facebook post image sizes is 1200 by 630. And those, we would recommend doing those on a computer, and then they will be resized when it's accessed mobilely to make it look good. But those were the dimensions, Gail, that you were looking for some of those slides and posts. Mark, we talked a little bit about your question, but we'll be sure to do that in our live walkthrough where we can show you a little bit how to share. And we'll talk a little about that. Yep. Daniel, that's a good question. So I'm seeing all your questions come in. Please keep putting in your questions or anything like that. We will answer as many of them as we can as we kind of go through here. Sammy's getting ready for that. Gary Goody, good to see you. Glad everybody here with us today. So we've been successful at getting people to like photos and videos, but only a very small percentage to like our page. I do invite them to like the page, but I'm able to convert very few. Yeah, I mean, I think, Gary, with that, you're on the right track. Those conversions are definitely small. Some of that viral content will definitely be able to drive traffic back. And I think, specific call to actions in those to drive more likes to your pages is going to keep going for you. So I think that you're on the right track there. So Lorraine asked if I could post those dimensions in the chat. Yes, I will. I love all the questions. So if you do have questions, please keep posting, and we're going to get to as many as we can. So there come the dimensions to you. I promised the link to the signups, so I'll do that as well. Let me go grab that here real quick. Mark asked, will the link to the recording be able to be sent out to our businesses from the view? Yep, we will be able to get them. We'll be able to get that link to you. You'll be able to send that out to everybody. Absolutely, we definitely appreciate that. So we can look at those. I I answered that one. So,
Phone on you?
no. What's going on?
Um,
Oh, does it want to access code?
yeah.
We can always just share from mine.
Okay.
So, yeah, so real quick, so while we're getting that ready, Sammy, can you just answer what is the difference in it between engagement versus reach on your Facebook page?
Yeah.
Talk about engagement versus reach, and then I'll get this thing pulled up.
So reach is the amount of people that your post is coming by on their news feed. So it's the amount of people that have been able to see your post. And then engagement is when people are actually liking or they're sharing or interacting with your post in some way. And so that's kind of the difference, whereas either they are engaging and actually doing something with the post, or reach is they just saw the post. They just saw it on their newsfeed or it showed up on their timeline. So
as people are looking at those between reach and engagement, what are some things to be driving towards, or things that people want to? Sometimes you can get a lot of reach, but not much engagement. So any thoughts on how to switch that reach into engagement?
Yeah, so in order to kind of convert your reach into more of engagement, my biggest suggestion would be in your posting, create a caption that is engaging and that is kind of a call to action for your customers. And so maybe you are posting about fall or something, and you want to ask your customers something about what's your favorite thing to do in the fall, or maybe it's not necessarily pertaining to your business, but it's pertaining to what's going on at that time. So kind of asking questions and engaging your customers to actually answer, to actually comment is a great way to kind of convert that reach into engagement and make sure that your customers aren't just scrolling by your posts, they're actually commenting and liking and sharing with their other friends on Facebook.
Yeah, so the two follow-up questions to that, one from Lorraine is, so when people do engage, should I be doing something to follow up with them? And am I able to?
Yeah, so I think it would probably depend on what kind of engagement they have. If they commented on your page or commented on a post you have, I would go ahead and reply and say, whatever's applicable to the situation, like, thank you for the comment and we appreciate your support. Or if a comment is something more along the lines of asking about your product or services specifically, you can comment and say, I will direct message you further information about this. But if someone is just liking your page, I don't think it's necessary to follow up. Or if they're just liking a post, not necessarily important to follow up in that sense. But if someone is commenting and asking questions, for sure follow up with them.
Okay, so got another question here from, I guess the other question on engagements. What percentage of engagement is considered good?
So I would say that is dependent on your specific business, where you're at in your Facebook page experience, whether you just started or maybe you've had it for 5 years, it's going to be different. And then you also have to look at how many people do follow you. And so if you have 100 people following you and you have on average like 10 engagements per post or so, that can be pretty good. Or maybe you have 500 people following you and you have maybe 10 engagements per post. And so that's maybe not as good. So it's all dependent on kind of what your goals are, who you want to be reaching, and what kind of posts you want out there to be engaging with, and how many likes you want on your page and your posts.
Yeah, so obviously you can see now our Center for Business Growth and Innovation Facebook page in the background, and I'm fancy and I have it on dark mode. So we'll get to that in a second. We'll walk through a few things. If there are certain things you want to see us walk through that Sammy talked about today, please enter them into the Q&A box. We'll be sure to walk through those. Next, Mark asked, is it good to go like a lot of other, say, businesses in your community or other businesses' pages in hopes that they like you back as a method to gain followers?
Yeah, I would say absolutely support other businesses' pages and like and share their content as well, even if it might not be applicable to your business. Let's say that there's you sell shoes on Main Street in some town, and then a coffee shop down the street also sells coffee. Even though you are a shoe store, you can still engage and like and share that coffee shop and kind of use each other as an outlet to help give your audience more content as well as gain followers. And when businesses in the community are seeing that you're engaging with their pages, they're going to likely do the same for you. And so it's a great way to share content amongst each other and gain more likes, gain more of a supportive following.
Yeah, and I think that that's definitely a method that you can employ, Mark, especially sharing other people's things. And I think, Mark, since I know, Mark, in your specific case, absolutely, with the work that you're trying to do, and hopefully being able to share and go back and forth between some of those different things is important to be able to do some of that cross-following, cross-liking, going back and doing that. So Carla asks, so how do you get more reach on a post? Sometimes our number is high, and other times it's low.
I would say look at those posts that you posted that are getting a lot of reach and see what did you do different with them. Did you tag someone specifically? Did you check in some location specifically that gave you more reach? And then just as a rule of thumb in your postings, make sure that you are tagging people if it's applicable to the post, or you are having hashtags, or you're checking in. And as well as make sure that your posts have an image or a video with it. Those posts are a lot more engaging and more likely to reach more people. And then also make sure that your caption is short and sweet and to the point and something that is easy for people to understand.
Yeah, and I think part of it, to Carla's question, then comes back, more comes down to the more people that engage with, the more people it's going to reach. So that could look at time of day that you're posting. That could be type of content. So we'll let you a little bit behind the hood here. You can see, since we're going to look through our Facebook page for just a couple minutes, please keep asking questions and putting things in. We want to keep this conversation going. So you can see here the two posts that we did just this week regarding the event that we're in right now. You've got yesterday, we posted the image of it with, in an event. And then on Sunday, we scheduled this to go out with a different image and the link to register. And you can see that there was just a tremendous number of, in that reach amount, that the numbers were definitely different. So now we can get into our insights quite a bit, and we could see who it reached, and or how. So there's not always a good answer to how, why are these two posts, doing something different. So we look at time when we posted them. We had the same number of engagements, which was most likely someone sharing it, and then we've got different things there. While I'm here, I'll do what I said I was going to do and post this directly into the chat. Now you and I just went live. So anything else? Let me go back to the Q&A. That was a good question. Here's the link to register for our advertising workshop. Let me look through here. see. So one thing that Mark did ask about before was sharing across pages. So what would you say is the best way to go about doing that, Sammy? So the question is how do we go and share, say, content from a different page that maybe we like or follow?
Yeah, so you would go up to the search bar up here, search Facebook, and search like Iowa Source Link, which is a page that the CBGI is going to want to share content from. Go to their page. And then you can scroll down and look through kind of what they have been posting lately, and pick out something that maybe is applicable to what your audience might want to be seeing as well. And so they shared the CBGI's event. And so like I was talking about earlier, in the right-hand corner of the Facebook post, you'll be able to navigate who you're interacting as. And so you can switch between which page you would like to share this post from. So maybe Advance Iowa wants to, or the CBGI wants to share this post back onto their page. And so it's just important to make sure that you know who is sharing what content and that it's going back to the right page.
So I would click share,
Mm-hmm.
and we want to share it to a page.
Yep.
So hopefully Mark is still watching. We're going to share it to our other Advanced Iowa page. So now it's going to give you this post option. So as you're sharing it, then you'd be able to type in a caption. And now this is going to post on our Advanced Iowa page, sharing the content from basically in a quoted format from the CBGI page. And then we'd be able to just click share. If we wanted to schedule it, we'd be able to go to our publishing tools and do a few other different things there to tweak back and forth. So then I think we had another question about being able to tag people.
Yeah.
So there was a question about whether it's in an event post or a giveaway post, or I think tagging people that maybe like or don't like your page. Is there something that we can do to, how do we do that? Do we just start throwing in ad signs and say, can I tag?
Yeah.
Hey, there's Sammy Sock Monkeys. I think the question was they were having trouble tagging their individual people.
So you have, when you're tagging someone on your business account, they have to also be someone who likes your page. It's Sammy.
I found you anyways. So I think there was a question from early on. I wanted to make sure that we did it in the walkthrough though. It looks like that's something we could look at. There may be settings if the people aren't taggable. So a couple of things to think about, Liza, is make sure that you're trying to tag either their personal page or if they have their own business Facebook page as your agents, assuming this is something in real estate, I think that would make the most sense. You want to make sure that their page is following yours, so you can tag their page. If it's personal, you want to make sure their settings allow them to be tagged and be able to accept those and that they're following and liking your page. And if those things are not happening, then we would be able to look at it and give it a deeper look. So why would you tag someone? Lorraine said, so in this instance on this question, let's say we were partnering together. So in my specific example, what you can see on this post was you may tag back to the Center for Business Growth and Innovation. I don't even know. Can I just do our short handle? No, that'd be too easy, wouldn't it?
Center for, should come up.
So let's say we were doing this together, we could tag them as a way to send people back to their pages a different way. Let's say we as Advance Iowa wanted to get another partner involved. You could tag out to like Iowa Economic Development Authority, and then this would go pop up for them to be able to reshare, and you can continue to try and grow your engagement through continual tagging and different things like that. So I know we didn't get a ton of walkthrough through. You got to see a little bit behind the scenes of what we're doing. We're at 11:01, and I want to be respectful of everybody's time. So thank you to everybody that joined today. If we didn't get to your question during the session, we'll try to follow up with you to make sure that we got your questions answered. Sammy did mention the Panther Biz HQ, so I'm going to stop my share. We reshared that slide. So the Panther Biz HQ is a program here at the University of Northern Iowa where we will work one-on-one directly with your business in some of these social media questions, where we can be looking at doing a report and analyzing what's going on your social channels, on your pages, giving you some best practices, recommendations, and things to work on. And we can also then potentially look at trying to help you do some of that stuff also together. So Sammy's going to pull up the slide on the share. You can always just reach out to me directly, reach out to Sammy. We would love to be able to work with you in our Panther Biz HQ program. Thank you for joining us. So this was our basics class. So we went through some things hopefully you knew. Maybe we shared a few tips that you hadn't seen before. Join us next week. We're going to be looking at the Facebook advertising. So we're going to go really pretty in depth with Sophie on Facebook ads and insights, how you can, in the pay-to-play version of Facebook, look to grow those things. Yeah, Sammy, great job. Thank you for being here and doing this with us. Be sure to go out to iasourcelink.com. That's where you can find info on how to sign up for our next sessions. We've got Facebook advertising, and then we're going to be doing some Instagram and also blogging for your website in November. We'd love to see you at those. And with that, thanks for joining us today. Again, I'm Patrick from the Center for Business Growth and Innovation. So Sammy, also from Center for Business Growth and Innovation. You can find this webinar archived and recorded on YouTube, Center for Business Growth and Innovation's page, as well as iasourcelink.com. So thanks everybody, and we hope to see you in one of our next webinars.